welcome again to another edition of Astronomy Spotlight. My name is Kirk Rosberg. I'm the Planetarium Coordinator here at the Hastings Museum. This month, for November, we do have kind of a special event in the sky. It is a lunar eclipse. Now, usually I would say a total lunar eclipse, but this eclipse is actually not going to be total for the entire world, in fact, at least those of us who are able to see it on the night side of the Earth. The moon is going to be full, and it is really November 19th of this year. So on the 19th, which is a Friday morning, and this is going to be early Friday, the penumbral eclipse actually will begin at 12:02 a.m. But we are not going to see any sign of an eclipse until later on. But what exactly is a lunar eclipse? Well, a lunar eclipse, as you can see from this diagram from NASA, a lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth goes in between the sun and the moon. And for this particular eclipse, the moon just kind of skirts around the whole deep shadow of the Earth. It goes through most of it, but it does not get completely covered by the Earth's shadow. So it is considered a partial eclipse, but that being said, it is about roughly 92% total. So not too bad. It's mostly there, but not quite. Certainly enough seen to be very interesting and worth getting up or staying up late to see. So let's zoom in here now. Our Planetarium Sky, so we can get set up. Notice the constellations that are near the moon. You have Taurus the Bull. Actually, the moon is going to be in Taurus the Bull. Taurus is that V-shaped cluster of stars right there. That marks the head of the bull. And then riding on the back of the bull are the Pleiades star cluster, sometimes referred to as the Seven Sisters. So the moon, which will be in eclipse, is actually going to go right through and right nearby, right below the Pleiades star cluster. A great target for photography, perhaps. Okay, so the current time is, let's see, it's about 1:15. You can see the eclipse is just beginning. So the partial eclipse begins for us at about 1:18 a.m. Yes, that's right. You heard correctly, in the a.m. And I'm going to speed time up here. We're going to go through the entire eclipse. I'm also going to zoom in so you can actually see more detail. Here we go. Oh, I think that's close enough. There we go. Okay, so the eclipse has began, and here we go. All right, so right now it is about 1:45. The maximum eclipse, as close to totality as we're going to get, will occur at about 3:02 a.m. So right after 3 a.m. Is what we're going to be looking for here. And we're now at about 2:15. And about 2:30. About 2:45. And 3 o'clock right there. All right, so that is very close to the maximum eclipse that you will see. And once again, that does occur at about 3:02 a.m. Then it will start to back out of that eclipse as it starts to leave the Earth's shadow. We're going to speed time up here a little bit. All right, so we passed the deepest part of the eclipse, and we are slowly going back to the partial or the the more partial phase. So we are losing the shadow. Notice the copper red color. This is, yes, they call this a blood moon, a blood red moon. But it's not going to be a total blood red moon this particular time. All right, so yes, it is definitely leaving the shadow now. And it's around 4:15. Partial eclipse will end at about 4:47 in the morning. Again, this all takes place on the 19th of November, an early morning on a Friday, right before Thanksgiving, too. And right now at about 4:45. All right. And eclipse is pretty much done by this time. 5 o'clock in the morning. So it is done now. And I will just stop it right there. So that is the event that is going on this November the 19th, a Friday morning. You're going to want to stay up late or go to bed early and get up. You definitely want to see the maximum eclipse, which will occur at about 3:02, shortly after 3 a.m. In the morning. And again, the partial phase will finally end at around 4:47 a.m. So that is the event, that is the main event going on here in the month of November. But before we leave, there is something going on at the very beginning of December, which we're not going to be able to talk about in December's issue of Astronomy Spotlight, and that is the fact that Venus reaches its maximum brightness. Venus has been getting brighter and brighter in the sky, and it will actually reach its maximum brightness on December the 2nd this year. So you'll definitely want to be out for that, to see that, because Venus is always the most spectacular planet, and now it is going to be at its most spectacular on December the 2nd. And by the way, the next total lunar eclipse, and this is total lunar eclipse, is going to be May 15th of 2022. So we will be back with another edition of the lunar eclipse on May 15th of next year. We'll get to see all of that one as well. So thank you all for watching Astronomy Spotlight. I'm Kirk Rosberg. Join me again next month.